Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm super excited for this video because I'm going to be sharing with y'all my Sydney Grace Cosmetics collection. If you're not familiar, Sydney Grace is a US based indie brand and they are really amazing quality. I have so many products from them that I absolutely love. I've been wanting to film this video for a while, but I'm just the worst. I always procrastinate. Like, I just always have so many video ideas running in my head all the time that I have a hard time organizing it, and I really want to be better about that. But I saw that they're going to be doing their Christmas in July sale. I think that's what they called it. They're having a sale in July, and I wanted to go ahead and use that as my motivation to get this video up before the sale starts. So that it's going to be from the 21st through the 28th, and every single day is going to be a different deal. Sometimes they do like a certain percentage off a product. Sometimes they do like bundles where it's like if you spend $50, you'll get an entire bundle of eyeshadows for free, and they just have the best deals during this time periods. They've also in the past done mystery bags, which if I remember correctly, they categorize by skin tone, which I think is very, very helpful. So I'm curious to see if they'll do that again this year. It seemed from their Instagram post announcing the sale that they would be announcing each deal every single morning. So that's kind of a little bit like, because you don't know what to buy each day, or you don't know, like, should I buy highlighters today? What if highlighters are on sale tomorrow? So it's kind of like a guessing game in a way. But I just wanted to go ahead and get this out there so I can share some of my favorite products with y'all, and you can decide if you want to get them, and if you do, you can get a super good deal. I personally am planning on making a purchase during their sale just because it'll be my second palette purchase for the month of July. It'll be a custom palette, and they've come out with so many shades recently that are so beautiful, including the Danny's Dream bundle that I'm so excited about, plus the new ones that they're sneak peeking. So I'm totally here for the sale, and I plan on participating. So now let's go ahead and jump right on in. I have a pretty good array of products to show you. I've got a palette, some single shadows, a liquid shadow, some highlighters, and a blush. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the single shadows just because I feel like that's kind of what they're most known for. And I just have mine in a little Shop Miss A palette, which these are super high quality for a really affordable price. I think I bought this for like $5 or $6, which is kind of crazy. It has a mirror too. So you'll see by my palette that the thing that I love the most about Sydney Grace Cosmetics is that they have an amazing color selection. I obviously love colors, so I've got a lot of green and blue and purple here. I feel like they do colors so well, and these are all, there's so many stunning standout shades in here that I can't wait to swatch and share with you. But also, if you love cool tones or warm tones or neutrals, they have so many colors. There's definitely something for everyone, to the point it can be a little bit overwhelming, but you can actually go on their website and they have everything organized. So you can go to eyeshadows and you can like choose greens, and they'll show all their green eyeshadows. You could choose reds, purples, whatever it may be, and they will kind of break them down for you like that if that's something that you're looking for, so you don't have to look through every single shadow. But way to get my heart racing. That's not something I want to drop. So I definitely love their color selection, and if you're looking for unique shadows, I would definitely recommend them. Just to talk about the quality really quickly, I absolutely love the metallics. I feel like they have very thick metallics. Sometimes they're definitely a little bit easier to apply with the finger, and they'll be a lot more opaque, or you can just kind of go through your brushes and see which flat brush works best for you. I feel like something that just has a little bit of texture and has a little bit of denseness to it to where it'll pick the shadow up better is definitely necessary. If you go in with like a super flat brush, I don't find they pick the shadow up as well. So they definitely have a thick formula to them, but they are so intense, so beautiful, very intense metallics. They do have some shades that are kind of like a satiny, which I'll mention as I go through. I believe their more metallic ones are called pressed pigments, and they're $1 more if I'm correct, but I'm not going to go through and mention which one is it, which category they're in, because they might be on the pan, but they're probably written really small. I'm just going to go through and say the shade. And then moving on to the mattes, I really love the mattes in their single shadow formula. I feel like they're super easy to blend, super vibrant. I have only shadows from this palette on my eyes today. I have a bunch of Sydney Grace on my face, so I actually did film a little Instagram tutorial that should be going up around the time of this video in case you want to see my makeup and how I applied it and which colors I used exactly. That'll be going up soon. My Instagram is just AMYLOVES Makeup. The mattes I just feel like are really easy to blend, super just easy formula. They're kind of more on the soft side, but not too much kickback. They're kind of just like easy mattes, I guess I would say. I wouldn't say that they're super like, they don't, I'm kind of comparing them to the Menagerie Whale Song palette because I just used that for like a full week, and it's like super rich colors, and it's blues and greens, and I feel like those are a little bit like, something about those have more depth to them. These are a little bit thinner than that, but still really beautiful, and I love the looks that I get with them, and I absolutely love this eye look today. So let's just go ahead and jump on into swatching them. I'll also try, and I didn't take a picture yet. I didn't do this in advance, which I should have because it makes this video so much easier, but I'll try and do a little Instagram picture of my collection and go through and write the name of each shadow just to make it a lot easier for you. I'll also, oh god, these are so many shadows. I don't know if I'll list them in the description box or not. We'll see. We'll see depending on how I feel, but I will definitely try and do a little Instagram picture to make it easier. Okay, so first off, we have Green Mist, which all of their mist shades are like light duochromes, which I really love. If you go on their website, you can see all of them listed. I have 3 of them. And then they have Lemon Cream and Sunbeam. Okay, so here is Green Mist. This used to be one of my favorite shadows of all time, and I still really love it. I mean, you can tell it is a beautiful duochrome. It's what I have in my inner corner today. I will say I like Amy Heart's Beauty Ghost just a little bit more. It's basically the same shade, but it's a little bit more metallic. But I think either one will give you a similar look on the eye. And if you're already placing a Cindy Grace order, this is really beautiful. I just tend to personally reach for Ghost a little bit more. Lemon Cream's a super light yellow, and then Sunbeam is like, it's more of a satin shade than metallic, but I reached for it all the time because I find it to be such a unique, just incredibly bright yellow. I really love it, and I feel like it's very unique to my collection. I've noticed that every time I do like my own like little singles palette, or I build a palette or dupe something and I need a yellow, I always run to Sunbeam because it's just so unique. Actually, I'm pulling out a baby wipe right now, but as I say that, I should mention that unfortunately Sunbeam, I'm pretty sure, is no longer available. So if any of these shades aren't available anymore, I do apologize. This is just my collection, and I don't really want to have to take the time to go through and check every single shade before I talk about it. Okay, next we have Hercules, which is like a warm gold with some yellow undertone. We've got Seabreeze, which is a really pretty like green, just super soft shade, but it shows up on the eye really well. And then Perfectification. So there's Hercules, which, oh gosh, I accidentally got green in. My bad. Seabreeze, which I feel like the swatch doesn't look that impressive, but it does definitely show up on the eye. It's a really nice light metallic, or sorry, a light matte. Oh gosh, I'm a mess. It's a really nice light pastel-y green. And then Perfectification is such a beautiful, it's kind of like a mint green, but maybe like a mid-tone mint. Next we've got Tempest, which is like a super metallic, just incredibly bright green shade. It's kind of crazy how bright that shade is. And then we've got Blue Mist, which is the light blue duochrome. And then I'm pretty sure this is Seabreeze. There's Tempest. Blue Mist, which again has that beautiful duochrome to it. And then Seabreeze is similar to... Wait, you're not Seabreeze, are you? I'm so sorry. This one is Seafoam, which is more of a blue-green pastel, and then Seabreeze is more of a green pastel. Okay, next we have Mint Green, which is, as the name suggests, a really beautiful mint green. Megaldon, which is a really cool shade. It's kind of like a metallic teal. And then Sunken Treasure, which is like a green gold. Well, actually, I would just call it a green with a gold shift to it. Gold undertone. Look at mint green. See, their metallics are just so intense. Next, we've got Turtle Bay and Island Paradise, which are both really nice matte greens. These were in the No Joke bundle. Looks like I got a little bit of hard pan, so I'm gonna have to take that off. That's the shade I got hard pan in. If you ever get hard pan in something, quick trick, all you have to do, literally, is use a piece of tape, press it down in there. Now it is so much better. So those are the first 2 rows, absolutely beautiful. Kind of an interesting array of shades, but overall really, really stunning. All right, next we have Perfect Storm, which is a really beautiful soft blue. Oasis, which is like a mid-tone bright blue, and then Marine Waters, which is kind of like Magdalene, but a little bit more blue, a little lighter. So that light blue didn't swatch as well, but I've used it so many times on the eyes and it's really stunning. Those were probably the worst swatches I've ever done in my life, but... Next we have Scuba Diver, which is a really beautiful matte teal JB, which is like a metallic bluey, purpley type shade, and then Nightfall, which is a matte deep blue. Alright, next we have Deep Waters, which is a really just like very deep satiny navy. We've got Red Mist, which is again a really beautiful like pinky white duochrome. Kind of hard to get that shade right here because it's like little like stuck in the corner. And then Regal, which is a really beautiful soft purple matte. Look how pretty Red Mist is. Okay, next we have Mythical, which is like a really beautiful soft purple metallic. It is crazy intense. Devourer or something? Deliverer, which is a really another like kind of intense purple, but it's a completely different undertone. And then Ladies Dancing, which is like a really stunning, almost like Barney purple. Look at those. I keep swatching over things I've already swatched. Jeez. And then last but not least, we've got Boy Crazy, which is an intense metallic, just true blue shade. And then Fierce, which is a true purple, more on the cool tone side. Like, look at Boy Crazy. That is an intense blue. So you can see, obviously the metallics are so incredibly pigmented, and I just love how they look on the eye. I mean, I feel like the mattes don't swatch as amazing, but they are still really good and easy to blend and pigmented. So that is all of the single shadows. Alright, so next I have one palette from Sydney Grace Cosmetics. This is the first one that they've come out with, and I believe that this was released around the fall time. It's the Ons Reign Palette, and I do feel a little bit guilty about this palette because I had a kind of not the greatest first impression with this, and then I was determined to make it work, and I used it so much off camera, and I was so excited about it. I formed all of my thoughts on it, and then I never filmed the review. I don't know what's wrong with me. Again, so many videos trying to get organized, but luckily we are here today and I can kind of just give you my thoughts really quickly on this palette. So as far as the metallics go, I think that they are the same really beautiful formula. This is definitely like a colorful palette, or sorry, a neutral palette with a little twist of color, and it is very like just perfect for fall. I think it's really stunning color scheme, and it's kind of got pops of colors but still letting you stay in your comfort zone if you're not as comfortable with colors. The one thing I feel like is missing in this palette is I wish there had been something kind of more for inner corner highlighting. I mean, there's kind of like a taupey silver, but I feel like it has a little bit too much of a dark base to go in the inner corner, so that's something I wish I would have had. Although I will say that Queen of North is very appreciated because I find that the mattes in this palette have to be blended over a set base. That was the problem that I was having originally. I went in with them over a base that was not set and I had a hard time blending the mattes. But if you set the base, it's so much easier. It's kind of strange because I don't have that problem with the singles. Like today, my base was completely unset, a super liquidy base, and I had no problem blending those mattes. But in here, something about the pigment, I just find that these definitely need to go over something that's set. So I found myself using Queen of North quite a lot. Overall, I do like the palette. I think that it's definitely nice and good quality. You can make really beautiful looks out of it. I feel like a lot of the looks that you get are going to be a little bit darker, but I think it's a nice color scheme, and I definitely look forward to reaching for this more when fall comes back. And also I think the packaging is just really, really beautiful. I think they did a nice job. It's very aesthetically pleasing. So I figured I would go ahead and swatch this and show y'all real quick. I'm not gonna like do it painstakingly slow just because like the palette just comes all together, so it doesn't really matter about the single shade. So you can see very pigmented. This one here, Amber Jewels, is one of my favorites. It's such a beautiful deep cranberry red, just yummy metallic. Lots of really beautiful metallic options here. I love that they did a super deep green shade in this palette as the deepening shade. And then I also really love this green right here called Fallen Splendor. So beautiful. So there is the entire Ons Reign palette. As you can see, its swatch is amazing. It's super pigmented, really, really nice as long as you set your base down. So, you know, if you are not so much into singles and you're more of a palette, like a pre-made palette person, you know, this would be a great way to try Sydney Grace as long as you really love this color scheme. Alright, so I have one last eyeshadow to mention, and it is their cream shadow in the shade Seashore, which just looks like this. And this is probably something I shouldn't have purchased just because it is not me. I just don't reach for cream eyeshadows, especially in like this kind of form where it's like that kind of packaging. I think the packaging is actually really beautiful. Like I think it's very stunning. I love how they have their name written and the gold little accent. I think it looks super nice, and this shade is really, really beautiful. I'll do a little swatch. Super pigmented as well. Like that's just a tiny little bit and you'll see how far it goes. But the truth is that the first time I used this shadow was actually today, and I've had it for a really long time. So I think that kind of just goes to show that it's not very me. Like, I mean, it's beautiful. Like, look at that color. It's absolutely stunning. But I'm just not a cream shadow kind of girl, so I don't see myself using it very often in the future. I think that they have lots of really beautiful shades. They've got lots of colors, they've got lots of greens, lots of neutrals. So if you are someone super into cream shadow, you might like it. I don't really feel comfortable giving a review on that shade or on that product just because I haven't worn it for a long period of time enough to tell you, which again, I'm just being honest. I want to love it, and I think it's probably really great. It's just not my style. All right, next I have two pressed face products from Sydney Grace, which just look like this. So I have one blush and one highlighter. The highlighter is really beautiful. It is called Golden Wonder. It's so stunning. It's the highlight that I have on the cheeks today, and it's just a really beautiful, like pale gold type of shade. It doesn't look that used, and honestly, I need to remember to pull this out more. The thing is that for Sydney Grace, when I'm like, ooh, I want to use a Sydney Grace highlighter, I love, 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 love their loose highlighter so much that I just forget about the pressed one. So here's what Golden Wonder looks like. Like, it is an intense, just a really beautiful highlighter. I definitely do like the formula. It reminds me a lot of the Anastasia formula, just like the thickness of it, the way that it feels, just the texture of it. I don't think they sell these anymore, but this is the Starlight Illuminator from Anastasia. I don't think these are going to be the exact same shade, but it reminds me of the texture of these, which I know not everyone absolutely loved. I mean, actually, this feels a little bit more silky in comparison, but it reminded me. I feel like they end up looking pretty similar. That's the way that they highlight the face, although now after swatching the Anastasia one, which I haven't used in a little bit, I should definitely pull that out for a Shop My Stash. I would say that the Sydney Grace is a little bit thicker, which I feel like it just melts into the skin and it looks really beautiful. So I really, really love that shade. I think it's a stunning highlighter, and I remember I bought this on a whim. Like, I was just like, ooh, let me try a highlighter from them, and I was so happy the first time I tried it. So then I also grabbed one blush from them, and this is the shade Peaches and Cream, which it's a super beautiful peachy blush. It's what I have on my cheeks today. I feel like you can't see it that much, but it is really, really beautiful. The crazy thing about this blush is that when you try and swatch it, I feel like that looks like nothing. Like, it just barely picks up in swatch when you use your finger. But if I were to grab, like, see this brush, you can't see any product on it. Like, I could just barely tap it and look how much you see. So it really picks up really, really well on a brush, which maybe I'll just go ahead and grab a little bit more. Go a little blush heavy today, because why not? It's a really beautiful peachy shade. It blends really well. I like it. I mean, I don't know, I have a hard time having like favorite blushes, just because I feel like blush in the end, other than like maybe a little bit of difference in texture, overall ends up looking pretty similar. But I do think it's nice, and if you're looking for an indie blush, if you like peaches, it's nice, but it's not like, I don't know, it's blush, you know? Alright, so last but certainly not least, my absolute favorite product from Sydney Grace Cosmetics is their loose highlighters. I personally own 3 of them, and I tried one of these on a whim, and I fell in love. In love, in love. I absolutely love the loose highlighter formula. It's thicker than most loose highlighters, just the way it feels when you touch your finger. I mean, it feels like their pressed highlighter, but in loose form, and it adheres to the skin so well. It looks so beautiful and radiant, and I used to not like loose highlighters, and these are the ones that converted me. I've tried a few different loose highlighters from quite a few different indie brands now, and I do have lots of different favorites. If you'd love to see a video on loose highlighters, I could do that because I love them. But the shade Pink Lightning from Sydney Grace, sorry, this one right here is my absolute favorite. I feel like you can't even tell how much I've used this, but I have used it so much. It's crazy. Like, this is the most beautiful highlighter. There's a lot in the pan right now. I don't know how that happened, but I'm just going to go ahead and grab a little bit. It's just, I don't even know how to describe the feeling of the formula and how it's just, it doesn't feel like a super loose powder. Like, it just feels a little bit thicker. Like, look at that shade. That is Pink Lightning. It is the most beautiful pink highlight. I just love it. Like, it is intensely pink. It looks so beautiful blended onto the skin. I love it so much. I cannot rave about it enough. If you have fair skin, I definitely recommend picking this up. I think it's beautiful. Actually, I would say, because it does have a little bit more color to it, maybe like fair to medium would be able to pull this off perhaps. And then next from them, I have the shade Arctic Moon, which I grabbed 2 more just because I love that one so much. I still kind of want to try the peachy shade, although I'm not sure if it'll be too dark for me. But they have a bunch of different shades, so no matter what skin tone you are, you could definitely find one for you. So Arctic Moon it's pink as well, but it's a little bit of a lighter pink. You can see has a little bit more of a cool tone to it. It's not quite as bright, which, I mean, it's still really beautiful. I like wearing this in one as well, but not quite as much as Pink Lightning. Pink Lightning is just like my ride or die. So there's Arctic Moon. And then the last shade that I have to show you is Radiant Glow, which looks like this. I was a little unsure about this for my skin tone, but I just thought I would take a chance with it because I love the formula so much. Again, it's just like that same, it feels so buttery, and it's just so good. So good. So here's what Radiant Glow looks like. And I would definitely recommend this probably for like at least like a darker light to a medium skin tone. For me, I can make this work when I use it just super light, and I kind of just like dust it back into my cheeks, and it gives me a really bronzy, just a bronzy glow, really, because it's a little bit darker than my skin tone. So it does it leaves a little cast on the cheeks, but sometimes if you do it just right, I feel like it looks really beautiful regardless. So there's Radiant Glow. I absolutely love the formula of them. I think that they are so good. Gosh, I think that they're either $8 or $12. I can't remember, but honestly, for Pink Lightning, I would probably pay like $30 because I love it so much. Maybe even more if it was really nice packaging. I just absolutely adore Pink Lightning. I wanted to mention really quickly that I always use the AOA Studio F19 brush for these highlighters. I feel like that just, it blends them in really, really beautiful. Maybe I'll even, just while we're here, I'll grab a little bit of Pink Lightning because I can't help myself. It's just, it's so good. So I honestly just take like the tiniest little amount and then I'll dab it into the other pan to get the extra product off, which there's a lot. So I just have a little bit here, and this brush just works so well because you can place it down where you want it. Like, look at that glow. Place it down. I normally end up sharing whatever product I got between both cheeks because there's just so much, and then I'll put the brush to the side here and just blend it in a little bit more. Whenever I finish this eventually, because I do know that I will finish it eventually, I will without a doubt buy more. And if it ever gets discontinued, I'm gonna absolutely lose it. Alright, so that is my Sydney Grace collection. I hope you found this video helpful. I have also had nothing but good customer service interactions with the brand as well. I believe whenever I ordered my No Joke bundle, I had like some problem where it wouldn't add, or I can't even remember what the problem was at the time, but I do remember the team being super helpful to fix the problem and help me out. So I appreciate that. And even though I don't remember exactly what it was about, I do remember being satisfied with the customer service. And I believe it was a really quick email response time, if I'm correct as well. So I definitely recommend trying them out. I think they're a really amazing brand. And I don't think I have anything else to say. I don't know why I said and. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.